And we are live. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel, the Bianconeri Zone Live, your Bianconeri Zone post-game show. It's a little bit later, obviously, than most post-game shows, but we're here to talk about all the things that happened in the match today for Juventus at Empoli, where they pulled out a victory 3-2. Maybe I wouldn't say, well, they had you sweating for multiple reasons that we'll talk about today. A lot of reasons to talk about for the future as well that we'll continue to sweat game in and game out. With me, as always, is my guy, Alejandro Fencella. How you doing, sir?
Um, Better than after my reaction video. Calm down.
Right?
Yeah.
Calm, a little bit calmer. Yeah, there's a lot of things to be, I guess, okay. There's plenty to be positive on after finally getting a win after I think 3 draws straight or something like that for Juventus. But there's a lot of negatives too, a lot of frustrations, a lot more of the same, a lot that we could expect better, especially when you're playing a team like Empoli, who
Yeah.
is not anything special. I mean, they've played some of the top of the team, top of the table teams tougher, but it's still nothing if you're Juventus that you should be really excited about, right? Um, Anyway, do you want to just? I guess we can start this out just giving some thoughts from the game. I mean, obviously, there's 3 aspects that we need to talk about. Obviously, we can start out with this way: just the way they played the game. The second part will be about injuries because we got to talk
Yeah.
about that. And then third, the coaching. I guess just overall.
Yeah.
Um, you want to lead us off, or do you want me to start it up?
I did my video. You saw.
All right. One thing I'll say is I felt like going into the match. Well, one of the things too when it comes to the actual gameplay that we witnessed today, it's going to be more and more probably. I feel like um, the way we're going to have to transition this team into thinking. And it's kind of like what it was, back in 2019, 2020, where you could rely on this guy,
Yeah.
where how we kind of did for Ronaldo. And then last season, we didn't do this with Ronaldo, really, or he just didn't step up, at least in these circumstances. This isn't an opportunity for me to hate on anybody. But what I'm saying is, Vlahovic has to be the guy. It's got to be,
Yeah.
everything has to be centered around Vlahovic. I don't like everything we're doing, every offensive effort, every attack, every cross, every whatever. It has to be Vlahovic. I don't like at this point. I don't care if you notice through most of the game. I think Empoli had he was triple teamed every single time he got the ball. He was
Yeah.
triple teamed. I felt like every single time 3 guys collapsed on him, and every time in those circumstances he was still finding ways to create to move the ball a little bit. Yeah, there were times where the ball ended up getting taken away because he's obviously has that many guys on him, but he's a force. There's a reason Juventus paid that much amount of money for him. And then if there's one thing we know, it's just the other guys are not reliable. Like I'm happy for Moise Kean that he had that goal. That was nice that he got that goal. Really, it was all obviously got to give credit also to another guy who I don't give a lot of credit to, Rabiot. I thought Rabiot had a fine game today. He wasn't. I didn't hate on him as much as I usually would. We'll say that. I'm still frustrated that all the minutes that he gets, but Rabiot created that. Moise Kean was able to get that header. It was a nice little way to start it out. Problem is Moise Kean's not going to be at least right now under Juventus with the players that are working and just really it's just him. It's just him. He's not going to be a serious threat that that other teams are going to have to worry about consistently scoring. It has to be Vlahovic. It's just that's where I really want to start it. Just everything has to be from here on out, especially with the injuries that we're dealing with and the way the coaching works. It's just got to be like a one-man attack. I guess that's what I would say to start with. Other thoughts when it comes to the actual play of the game. Let me actually pull it. I have let me get my sheet of lies out here. I took notes during the game because I knew Julian wouldn't be doing doing the post game, so I thought I'd have just a little bit of thoughts and stuff that I have. A lot of my issues came along with obviously earlier in the match. You had the run by Vlahovic with the pass to Zakaria. Shot was blocked by the keeper. It was a better effort than I've seen from other Juve midfield players, but at the same time, it was unfortunate that didn't work out. Early in the match, one of my biggest frustrations was there was that run that Vlahovic was making, and Moise Kean gets the ball. Vlahovic is right there.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a point somebody pointed out where he was offsides initially, but he has more than enough. He had more than enough time to pull back, adjust. That Moise Kean could have done it. Again, another issue that I have with a lot of Juve players is there is no. We talk about killer instinct. We talk about just unsure. Just there's no confidence. there's no confidence in this team. So instead of making passes like other teams do, he just kind of lets it go. And 2 seconds later, then he tries to make the pass, and it blows the entire shot. All right, let me take a break. You want to interject at all? What I was saying. Sorry.
Well, you started off with saying you need to build around, or like play around Vlahovic, and I think that's the main issue because you can like he gets way, uh, like he doesn't get enough balls, like good balls, like in and around the box. I think that's the problem. Like he got two today, he scored two, and the last one was like an awful pass from Morata. Like the control was incredible. Like that's just pure talent. The way he drags the ball with him, because that ball was it was just awful from Morata. And then he chips the goal. Like he's ice cold in front of goal. Like actually ice cold. Even the first one, like most number nines would just take a shot like immediately. So the fact that we basically give him so few playable balls, like that's worrying. That's wrong. Because like against Villarreal, he had 15 touches, 7 on the opposition's half. Like he got 1 in the box, and actually not in the box. He controlled it outside of the box. He scored, and then in the 85 minute, he had a shot from outside of the box. Difficult, but it was a very good shot. But that's the problem. Like the team delivery, in terms of giving him the ball, like the most balls he receives are just long balls, and hoping he is strong enough to keep hold of it, and we go from there. That's not like you can play in some moments like that. That's okay, but like 90 minutes, come on, because you can see when he's in the box, he's deadly. Like he's absolutely, like everybody knows. That's why you paid the money. Like now it's up to Allegri to get that ball to him, and I said it many times before. Like we have no style of play. Like it's actually unbelievable. And I said it in my reaction video. The way we play today is the way we're gonna play until the end of the season. It's not gonna change drastically. It isn't. Like there's no time. We thought it would happen in January, even December. We thought it didn't happen. It's not gonna happen now. It isn't. So what we're seeing now is what we're gonna see until the end of the season, and it's. I want to say it's all on Vlahovic, but we need more, because look at the goals we conceded. Like I don't concede those type of goals when I play Sunday League football. Like I have no idea. Like the first goal, that's just amateuristic. Like it's unbelievable. Like Danilo had the ball, he was trying to back heel it for some reason. Just kick it away. Like what? And the second one again, they shoot it like I don't know what. Like it was just a random shot, and the ball ends with a player. He was all alone. Like he could have drank a tea and before he took a shot. Like he was all alone. Chesney made a mistake. You should have saved that. Like that was awful from him. He should have done much better. But like the goals we concede, and Allegri said, "Oh, we need to suffer," and all those things. I think we suffer enough against awful teams. Like we don't need to suffer against Empoli. Like if you play, let's say, if you play City away or even at home, and he comes out, that was great from the team. We suffered. I would be like, yeah, they're a better team. Like I'm okay with that. But it's Empoli away. Like you don't need, and we suffer in the weirdest ways. Like it gets hot in front of goal a lot of times. Like where you're like, oh my god, this is not gonna go well. And Empoli will walk into the dressing room today and think, how did we lose? Like we shouldn't have lost this game. They shouldn't. Again, I'll take the 3 points, but like people just look at the result. Not all people, but a lot of people, and you need to look further ahead. Like we will play better teams than Empoli moving forward. We will. We will play worse teams, but also better teams. And do you believe? Because that's the question of the show. Basically, do you believe the way we play will be enough to beat? Like we have 11 games left. 11. Yeah, 11 games. I think we need to win them all. Like if we're going to be realistic, but let's say at least 9. Do you believe the way we play, we will win 9 of those games? Bearing in mind we still have Inter, Lazio, and Fiorentina.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
No. Touching on what you're saying there, the thing that stuck out to me, and I think I had this actually in my notes, was really just about, I've never seen and I don't know exactly how to say this, but like I've never seen a team of Juventus's quote unquote caliber. I say quote unquote caliber because these are still it's a team full of highly paid players, right? Players that in essence are national team players that are supposed to be quote unquote, I guess, elite. I've never seen a team made up of elite players, and I use that team loosely or that term loosely right now, but a team made up of elite players that has absolutely no confidence in themselves. Like they go up against, they treat every team, and I understand wanting to treat every game like you want to treat your opponent with respect, but they treat their opponents like they are all leaps and bounds better than they're playing. They all look like they're lost. They look unconfident. And they can't when it comes to like I said, I talked about Moise Kean earlier, but it's not just him. A lot of them do it when it comes to making passes or whatever. They second guess themselves before actually pushing stuff into the box. They'll end up kicking it back instead of just trying to attack. There's a lot of things like that. Defensively, today I think the defense was the worst today. I think the defense was it was. Yeah, it was bad. As much as I give De Ligt or whatever credit regularly, Bonucci struggled. Bonucci was I had him and Danilo as the cause for that first goal together. Kind of they're both just it was right there at their feet.
Oh,
and they
yeah,
didn't know
for
what to
sure.
do.
That looked bad. That looked actually amateuristic.
Yeah, it's just I don't like. It was one of those situations where I'm like, is this like, are we back to where whenever Bonucci doesn't have Chiellini holding his hand that he is going to struggle? I mean, I don't know. And I like Bonucci, but in that moment he deserved to be crushed, as did Danilo. I think going off of that, one of the other issues that I really have, well, there's a lot of issues. Let's not kid ourselves, but there's so many players. Well, actually, I'm trying to think the best way to really preface this. So, okay, with the let me just pull this up. Sorry, I'm trying to gather this thought real quick before I move on. Okay, I got that point. That was the part that I wanted to say. What was the issue with the defense today? That's what I'm trying to get. What exactly was like? Why did they struggle so much with this team? Was it?
I would say like they just had an off day. That I would say, but we invited the pressure big time. Like we didn't even try to keep the ball into the team, which is weird when you have Arthur play. Like we didn't try, especially that second half. Like we scored, but that second half was actually really bad, and the more the time was ticking away, the worse it got, to be honest. Like it got worse and worse and worse. So that was that. It was just like the goals we can see. Like look, like they're set pieces at the end of the day. Like it hit the crossbar first. Like Bonucci, that would have been an own goal. But ball comes in again. It's again like it's not a real set piece because the ball comes out. But like out, it's not how you want to say it. It's not that we got. Our backline got ripped to shreds. Like, we got outplayed, and you're like, yeah, fair play. Like, nothing. Like, look at the goals you can see. Villarreal now. All those goals. Like, we can see crap goals. Like, goals we probably wouldn't be conceded 2 years ago. And again, like, 2 years ago, we would also be better. But, like, it's just focus. I think it's focus. At the end of the day, today it was focus. It was weird. It was weird to see because I think that like the only thing that how do you want to say that gives me confidence was the backline. I was like, okay, that will be fine. But the last couple of days, weeks, I'm like, they look shaky also. And at the end of the day, you can put the blame on them, fair, because they're defenders. But we invite that so much pressure, like at some point it's gonna crack. It is. That's what De Ligt said. I think 2 months ago we said like we need to start thinking about moving forward, like going forward also instead of just defending. That's what he said. Like we need to have something going forward to relieve the pressure because that's it. Because at some point, again, everybody can defend the entire team, but at some point one player will be like, I'm not walking that extra few meters. I'm not doing it. Like someone else will do it, and someone else is not going to do it, and then the cracks will show because you cannot hold on to it. Like you cannot play like this for 90 minutes. At some point, it's gonna come. It will fall. Like it will fall. It will fall, and it's Empoli. Like if you play better teams, it will fall big time, and you're not coming back from that. And that's my fear moving forward. So yeah. Wait.
No, I
Okay.
agree. I think well, one of the things, like, it was a bright spot, but then it's also a negative spot because he's having to do it. But especially there at the end, the final 10-15 minutes, one of the guys who's put in the most hustle and effort, well, it's true the whole game, but when it comes to actually like helping out the defense, was Vlahovic. I
Yeah.
saw him a couple of times cutting guys off and making efforts that other guys in his position I almost never see do. Like he was single-handedly ensuring that Juve won this game.
Yeah, yeah,
And
he
like
was.
it makes me so thankful to have him on the team. But it also, like, it's also one of those things that I think of, like, we talk about the Ligt and situations like that. I'm like, how long until he's like, I need other guys to step up, like along here with me. And I'm sure he feels that way, but I'm happy that he's at least doing that effort right now. You wanna Can we just go ahead and get into the obviously the elephant in the room? Um,
Wait. Yeah,
when
wait,
it
wait.
comes to
Before we do
Mhm.
that, I'll read out some chats because otherwise, we will
Go
never
ahead.
read them out like yesterday, basically.
That's true.
Someone is
Yeah.
asking, "Where's Julian?" Because a lot of people are asking. He had some personal not issues, but like he also has a personal life, and it was busy for him. So, but he will be back coming week,
Yeah.
so he's fine. He's
I was
fine.
I'll just be honest. The personal issues, we fired him. We just said, Julian, Justin knows way more when it comes to X's and O's.
Stand.
So Justin's just gonna take over, and then we just moved on from here. And now Julian will be back. Yeah, he's just like you said, taking care of personal stuff. But trust us, don't worry, you won't have to deal with me as much soon.
Home of you is saying, and that's a good point. Like sometimes the problem is attack, sometimes it's the backline, sometimes it's the midfield, and that's basically the issue of the season. Like there's always something, and that's it. Someone say delivery to Vlahovic is bad, and I agree. It's not what it should be. Vlahovic excels on long balls. No, he does not. Yeah, like I will not say the way we play, like, because he needs to hold it up to defenders with his back towards goal. That's not how you excel as a striker. It isn't, unless you're Lukaku. Other than that, no. Ante saying we really need a creative midfielder. Yeah, that's why me and Julian are pushing for Nkunku, but it's not gonna happen.
Well, real quick, earlier I think you skipped over, but it's Sami Nasrat said, "How do you want us to play good football with Allegri when even Pirlo and Sadi played like this?" I don't agree that they played
I
like this.
think
I don't agree.
we
It's the
played
same.
we played better under, like, post pandemic Saudi football. That was
Mhm.
awful. But before that,
Yeah.
it was better. And on the Pirlo, it was better. It was like we also got more points.
Mhm.
It was. I think we played better under them, but it's what it is.
Yeah,
Um.
that's what I was trying to
Yeah.
touch on. I was
Yeah.
just more saying Saudi, I think early did until the end. It was disastrous at the end. I don't know what was happening there. If the team just was like just skipping to the finish line since they kind of knew they were going to win.
I
It felt
agree.
like, and then at the same time, Pirlo. My main issue with Pirlo, and then I'll get off of it, was it was just really that's similar to this. There's no set plan, and
No,
that's
I
kind of
agree.
that was the only issue. But yeah.
Hanina saying, when you invite teams to attack for 70 minutes, lucky goals are bound to happen. We need to work on our press big time. Yeah, but our press, even today, I remember Keane and Vlahovic pressing, and I do not know which Empoli player was, but he was like, he was playing left back, and I was like, is Cuadrado gonna press? And he's just strolling to that player, and the keeper, like, you just pass him the ball, and Vlahovic and Keane were like, really? Like, we're pressing, the shit out of here, and you're just strolling towards your player you should be pressing. So I don't think there is any intent to press, not even against Empoli. So we need to work on
Mm-hmm.
it. Well, I don't think we ever worked on it, so it's like it's not gonna happen. Um, Gaetano saying Pellegrini is better than Chilio and Alexandro. I thought he had a good game. I thought
Mm-hmm.
he had a good game, and he made one crucial interception at the end because that was a tap in for the Empoli player. I think it was in the 90 minute. Like, he was on point. I think he had a good game, and I'm not the biggest Pellegrini fan, but I think
Yeah.
he had a good game. My camera is glitching. You go.
Yeah, just the times that I've seen Pellegrini play, I think he's been more than serviceable. I think, which is really what I can really ask right now when it comes to players. When we see what Alexandro does, we see the mistakes he makes. I think Pellegrini, who's still young and has some ways to go and grow, that he at least can be useful until we get maybe another guy in there. We've talked about it plenty. If you watched our daily videos, the different names out there, Cambiaso. Then we're talking about, I think Lodi was another name that came up. We'll see what happens from there.
He scored.
But then.
Today,
did he score?
I think twice, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Wait, I need to
well,
check.
Yeah.
Did he score twice? I saw one goal because I was watching, but I saw something that would be actually insane.
Yeah, see. I didn't see.
He scored twice.
That's crazy. Hey, yeah. I mean, if they're open to selling them, yeah, let's go ahead. But I mean, like I said today, I didn't get to watch a lot. I watched Juventus, and that was it today. Just because I mean, we've got our own issues here in our family in the household dealing with at the current time. Let's see, just real quick before we move on to the topic, I wanted to see if there's anything else. Let's see, Crazy Ray said today, I realized that Vlahovic is truly exceptional. That Villarreal goal and the goals today proved that. Yeah, he is. Yeah, I mean, he is he is the key player. I know before we talked about Chiesa can be up there if he gets back to health and all that, but Vlahovic is just he can be a generational talent if if they continue to develop him. All right. Let's just go ahead and get into it if you're okay with moving on and talking about the other main topic that I really want to get into, which is just, I mean, it's the injury situation. It's like, what's Juventus going to do? How long can we hold this out right now? The floodgates are coming, and the floodgates are falling right now, and we've got all these players going on. Zakaria now. I know it's only potentially 2 weeks, but how often?
I think it's going to be longer.
People. Well, yeah, that's the first thing I was going to say is every time they say 2 weeks, 2 weeks means he's like recovering for that time. That doesn't mean he's coming back and playing. It could be a month before he's going to be playing again. You see, it could be more than that. Yeah. Which is not good, especially we're in the final. I guess 11 games or whatever weeks when it comes to, I guess, just say months of the season. And that's a big loss, especially when we're trying to lock up a fourth place spot. Right now, we're sitting at 50 points with Atalanta there, I think at 44, but they also have a game in hand and they'll play tomorrow. And they'll play tomorrow as well.
Yeah. Monday.
They play in. Oh, is it Monday? Okay, yeah. Monday. Who do they play? Do you recall?
I think Sampdoria. I'm not sure. Sampdoria at home.
So they're still on their heels. So either way, I mean, heck, if we just, and that's one of the things we can get on when we're talking about this, because that'll be the next part I'll talk about. Let me just stick with this on the injury thought and my idea, or not my idea, but my thoughts on this. I mean, we're just seeing right now, we're seeing guys drop like flies, and this isn't normal. Like I've watched, okay. And I know Soccer Calcio, whatever, gets a bad rap when it comes to guys and injuries or faking injuries or whatever. But these are like guys actually seriously injured and happening by the handful every game. Yeah. Like you look at the amount of guys, I think I tweeted out the whole list, and then you add Zakaria in there. I thought maybe I was terrified that De Ligt was about to join in on that list.
Yeah.
And then Banu, and I didn't see what happened. Banu,
to be honest, the De Ligt one looked it reminded me a bit of the McKennie one, but like, he did it himself, and there was no weight on it from a player, so he got extremely lucky. Before, because you bring up injuries, we play Coppa Italia on Wednesday. He needs to rest starters. Like there's no option. And again, it's a trophy, but top 4 is more important, and like there's nobody else left. Like, I don't know if Vlahovic wants to play. You need to rest him. Like you cannot take a risk. Like we have no Vlahovic, De Ligt, give him a rest. If Rugani is back, give De Ligt a rest. Play Alexandro, or like you need to make changes. That midfield, we have 3 midfielders. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. We have 3 midfielders. So again, if Bernardeschi come, like I said, and people say, blame Miretti. Just give him a chance in the Coppa Italia and rest Locatelli. Rest him again, because there's nobody else left. You know what I'm saying? Again, if Bernardeschi would have been back, he would play, which at this point I'm like, yeah, but like we play again on Sunday. Like there's no rest. Then I think we have a week, and then it's Champions League again. Like we are short. We are short with players. We have no idea when Chiellini's back. He said probably this week, not again. Rugani maybe this week. Dybala maybe, but I don't believe he will risk him for Fiorentina. And there's no way like there's a return lag. And again, even if you switch, like, are you gonna lose 3-4-0 over there if you make some switches? That's bad. Like, even if you lose 1-0, there's a return lag. Like, stay calm. Like, it's not over, and the return lag is in April. But we cannot afford to miss any other players, key players.
Are you talking about the Coppa Italia?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally blinked. I totally forgot that now there's 2 legs to it. I didn't even think about that.
Semifinal.
So yeah, I always forget about that. That throws me off. But yeah, so I guess okay. So see, I threw off my conversation because I was going to come back with, so are we effectively punting on the Coppa Italia, which you shouldn't do. But if there's a return leg, this one away at Fiorentina.
This is away. Yeah. So that's why I said if you can just limit the damage, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You can like, we cannot take any risk with players. Like, the league is more important. It is.
Yeah. It absolutely is important. But then I also just wonder, like, how, gosh, I just see the unrest of, like, if Juve have a chance to get a trophy, and they don't do it. I mean, I understand
if you tell
losing
the club,
top 4 is worse.
If you tell the club you get the Coppa Italia, you get 3 mil for winning that, not even, but you will miss out on 80 mil because we have injuries. The club will say, oh, you know what they're gonna say. I think all the fans, like, this, it's what it is. It's business.
No,
we need the top 4, and we cannot risk anyone. We just can't. We can't. Give Keane another game. Give him a game, but rest Vlahovic. Like, what's gonna be? Yeah.
Well, what youth guys are you utilizing them? Are we using De Winter for the defense? Where are we going?
He's not fit, so no.
Is he not? Okay.
I will give Miretti a shot. I will give him a shot. I will give Ake or Sule a shot. I would. I actually would.
Yeah.
I actually would. Because,
but I guess my question is, how many of those guys at once are you going to go 2 to 3 of them?
At least one. Like, at least put one in there, so you can rest one key player, because we cannot afford any injuries. We just can't. Like, if you had everybody fit, like the entire squad, I would be like, yeah, go for it. Like, but we have 10 players out, and 2 of them are probably not like Chiesa is not coming back, and McKennie, I don't believe that he's gonna play again this season. So
I don't either. I think he's done. Yeah.
So I would say 2 are completely out. Chiellini, we have no idea. Dybala, his track record. Chiellini, his track record. Like, Bonucci was looking weird today. De Ligt was a bit shaky at the end with what he was carrying. So at what point, as a coach, are you saying, like, he even said it, like, he was asked about Arthur and Locatelli, and he said, like, they can play together, but even if they can, they have no choice. They need to make it work because I have nobody else. Yeah. And saying that, I'm like, you do have somebody else, and it's a youth player. It's Coppa Italia. I believe he's gonna start a youngster on Wednesday. I actually believe that.
Yeah, I saw that quote. I think you tweeted it out, and it frustrated me because he says even if he couldn't, and I'm like, he can. And the times that I've seen him play with him, he's done better with Archer by his side. I don't know. I mean, and then anyway, that just frustrates me. That's part of it. But then, yeah, they definitely got to utilize some of those young guys. Okay, so just, and this is an answer that, I mean, this is a question that I mean, you could have an answer to it. We talked about it before. What is going on? Like, what is happening? Is it people throw this out? But people throw this out all the time whenever injuries become prevalent in any sport. I've seen it here locally with coaching staffs here in basketball. It happened a lot. What is it? Are they training too hard? Is that even an idea of the thing? Is that what it is? Because that's what I get right. I get so frustrated because people are like, he's pushing him too hard in training. One, there is no evidence that he's pushing him too hard. Because what the hell are they doing?
Yeah, they're doing something wrong.
Because technically, game plan wise, there is nothing to prove. There's nothing to show me that they're training too hard. Like, I've seen. Like I said, this is basketball I'm thinking of. I've seen when people talk about training too hard, but these are guys that are like putting pressure defenses and doing things that you see the hustle out there. I'm not seeing that with this. So if he's training them hard, then they're pushing using all ability and effort in training, and when they come to the game, they're just kind of winging it. So I don't believe. I can't believe that that's the case.
But I believe there's Like there's a pattern, even when it's the same staff. So something is up. Like it's not normal, and the fact that the like usually the club, the hierarchy makes those decisions and going to Allegri and saying like, I know it's your staff, but this is not normal. You need to make a change, and they force the coach to make a change. It happens. Like my over here, my team, football team, they had it's different. It's different. So they had a coach and he had an assistant who was his friend. He has always been his assistant, and the club said the results were bad, and the club said we will give you another chance, but you need to bring in a different assistant who's more experienced. You do, or you need to leave. That's what it is. That's what's gonna happen. And the coach said, "Okay, I understand that," and he brought in an experienced assistant. He still got sacked a few weeks later because it was awful. Still, but like it comes from up top. Like the club looking at this situation, like when are they gonna act in terms of saying like this is not normal? Like look at like Fiorentina, they had no injuries again. Like remember this season? Like there was a one time we had no injury, and then the next game we were again missing 3-4 players. Like they were injured in training, on warm up. Like we get players who get injured in warm up, like often. Like it's not a one off. Like it happens a lot. So something is up.
Yeah, I'm literally sitting in the middle of the game, and I'm watching these guys fall. And I'm watching these guys just look like they're done for the game. And the whole thing I can think is in the back of my mind, because I know people make the J Medical jokes or whatever. But I'm like, maybe Ramsey was right. Is Ramsey right? Is J Medical that bad? Like I don't know. I can't.
Well, you know what it is.
I can't make a rhyme or reason.
Like J Medical, they don't do things like they do the checkups and stuff. We make jokes, but like it's the physios who are brought in by most of the time by Allegri, especially athletic coaches. Those are Allegri's choices. Like he knows his staff. Maybe team doctors that will vary, but usually good coaches, top coaches, they bring 1-2 of their guys and then they work what's left at the club. But something is up. Like this is not normal. It like it's unbelievable. And it's a key part of the season.
That's struggling like this.
No, and the worst thing or the weirdest thing, like it's the money time of the season, and we are missing half of our squad and key players, like big players. So it's actually insane. It's insane. And Zakaria comes in again, boom. And according to the reports, it's not looking very good. Like it's not just a simple muscle injury, 10 days. Let's say that. But let's hope, like knock on wood, that he's back. Because after McKennie, and we missed McKennie today, just to FYI, just to bring that up, we missed him big time today. Because our midfield was so static, it was unbelievable. Like Zakaria did well at the start, and he should have scored. People say, "Oh, great save." Yeah, but like at that range, the keeper shouldn't have got any shot of stopping that. But he was trying to make up for it when he was on the field, but like he cannot do that with the same consistency as McKennie can. We were missing him. Like we need Dybala back ASAP. So, but yeah, you're right. And I tweeted it out like something is up. Like this is not normal.
Yeah, I think if you go through that list, let me pull it up actually right here. I have it. So the injury list. So of the guys, Chiellini, Rugani, Alexandro, Bernardeschi, McKennie, Dybala, Chiesa, Carlos George, and now Denis Zakaria. We need guys like, it's sad to say this. We need Bernardeschi. Whatever's wrong with him, we're gonna need to get better. I know he's not the best. I know he's not. I know you're probably you want to kill me right now for saying this.
No. I said
we need guys like that to be a body.
Yeah,
just to be a body, even if he's not the most useful player. Like you got to get better. Dybala, whatever it is, you got to shake it. I know you have to, like, I guess, like contractually, you have to be out every 4 or 5 games. You have to miss like 2 weeks. You can't play a full month, of anything right now. It does, and I don't understand what's going on with him. Also, it's not like I don't know. We've seen the stuff where it's like they try to downplay the injury, but then the more you sit out and the more whatever, you can't argue it.
I think the club should stop saying for Dybala it's 10 days, because it's never 10 days. Just stop it. Just say we will monitor game by game, because they keep saying it's 10 days, but then it's 20, 30. Like, don't say it if it's not 10 days. Stop guessing. Just say we will monitor it day by day.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to go with Dybala because we know it's not 10 days. We know
What's
it.
what's Chiellini's status? Because I thought I had like an
He's
update
not
say
back.
before
He's
the
not back this week.
yeah.
He said maybe next week. So
There's no nothing's like clear and cut. It's always
again,
kind of like
I will say it now.
you know,
Like Chiellini is one of my favorite players. He is.
mhm.
He is.
But
He's one.
he's
He's probably the. He's one of the best defenders I've ever seen.
mhm.
Um, he needs to go at the end of the season. It is what it is. Like let's be honest. And people say, "Oh, the locker room is shambolic." Like one
Mhm.
older player is not gonna change the mentality of this locker room. It isn't. You need to start with guys like Vlahovic. You can see that at the end. He has a winning mentality, and he's just there. He's just there.
Yeah.
So you need to build. You
Yeah.
need to work around Chiesa. Like you can see it. These players, if they don't win, they're pissed. They're actually pissed. Like they're fuming. They're actually fuming. You can see it, and the way they speak, the way they go off the pitch, and all those things. That's that. So I love Chiellini, but we need fit players. We need fit players. Like we cannot just be having this sentiment or saying, "Oh, it's good for the locker room." Look at the locker room. It's 3 years. It's shambolic. Like it's not gonna change with one player. Like you need to change a lot of things. And I love him, but we need fit players. We need fit players because this is not the way to go.
No, yeah, I completely agree. As disappointed as I am to say that, it is true though. Chiellini, his time has come and gone, and really, like you said, the locker room. If you're trying to act like for morale or for any kind of leadership, where's the leadership been? Like even though he's been there, look at what that leadership has led us to right now. Not saying that he's not a good leader, but I'm just saying like some of the personalities, it's not going to work anyway. It's not going to get it done.
Wait. Also, before people say, I've not said he's bad. When he plays, he's amazing. But it's when he plays. Like we need fit players. It is what it is. Like and it, you need to build. Like again, it's a business. Like at some point, you need to break ties and you need to say we need fresh bodies. It's football. Like it is what it is. I will say the same thing with any player. Like any player. Name it. I don't care. Buffon, like at times, like I still think he was a top goalkeeper, but it is what it is. But let's say Vlahovic plays for his entire career for us, and at 35, like he's injured, he scores 5 goals a season, but he has won us all those stuff. I'm like, we need a striker, we need fit strikers, we need fit players. It is what it is. Like look at City. Like Aguero is their biggest legend, and Pep said, "I don't care. You're injury prone.
Yeah.
Get out of here." It is what it is. You need to be ice cold. Like you need to be cold in those things. Like sentiment, it goes as far. And I said it. If Italy don't make the World Cup, I think he's gonna stop. And Sam is saying you can keep Chiellini for important games, but he's never fit. Like you're gonna keep him for 1-2 games and just hoping he's just fit for when the big game is coming up. Like we cannot do that. I'd rather have a player on the bench who is good and who's fit, let's say for 80% of the season. And I know when he needs to play, he's there. And maybe he's not as good as Chiellini. That's fine because it's difficult to be as good as Chiellini. That's okay. But I'd rather have a player like look at the bench. Like look at our bench. We have no defenders. We play Danilo at the back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather have someone sitting on that bench, even if he's, let's say, 70% or 65% of Chiellini. I'm fine with that.
That's why we got Gotti.
Oh my God. To be honest, I read, like everything I read about him, again, it's reading, it's journalism, like scouting reports, is very positive, like extremely positive. So you never know. Let's see. Like we laugh about it, but you never know. Maybe we struck gold. I don't know. Let's see.
There's obviously some weird things there. I guess we could talk about it another time, but like obviously with him being in City B at his age, it's a little bit odd. But at the same time, well, I mean, who knows? Like I said, hopefully they found a good one. Maybe Torino knew what they were doing when they were going after him. I mean, they got Bremer. So who knows?
Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. The next part I was really going to get into, I don't know, I really don't think I want to spend that much time talking about Allegri and complaining and bitching about him more than I have to, because it's just more of the same, right? It's more of the same. I didn't feel too. I wasn't too frustrated by substitutions this game. There were two. There
Yeah.
weren't really a lot of substitutions. I think the only joke I made was maybe we could make a 70-minute change for bring Lenducci in instead and just see how it goes, just to see how it plays out. Maybe that would be the only substitution I would go with for now. But at the same time, I guess we look okay. Obviously, there's the frustration we have. If you look, okay, and I'm gonna do this, and I feel like you don't want me to do this, but if you look at that table, if you look at the table right now, the last two matches, I mean, you tweeted out the other day, I think,
Yeah, yeah.
about Torino and who else? Who do we know?
Atalanta.
Yeah, Atalanta. If you win those two games, that's 4 more points. We're sitting at where are we at right now? 54. We're tied with Napoli right now. Obviously, Napoli have another game to play.
Yeah, but you will
But
be 3 points out of off top basically, and if Inter win 4 points or something. But I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say, but
I'm not gonna say we're in the
we
conversation.
didn't win those games for a reason. I will say that.
Yeah.
So, and the reason is we're not that good.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I guess the most frustrating aspect for me, I feel like at this point, I'd rather Milan and Inter and them just continue winning rather than giving this piss poor Juventus team like a little bit of like something to like even be close to. You know what I mean? It's really not. It's like at this point, just go up 10. Just
me,
do that. For
like I'm okay because I I would say I'm realistic. Like we're not winning it, but a lot of people are like 1 week it's a title, then we don't win. It's like, oh my god, like we're not making top 4. Inter and Milan drop points. Oh, it's back to the title race. Like that's not how it works.
Well, and I guess I don't view it as a title race. I view it as like, are these guys really just gonna like keep pissing it away and letting this Juventus team be even in the same breath as them, which is frustrating. Like right now, to me,
just having a bad moment. They will pick it up. Like it's like Malik say we were closer of 5th place than 1st place. So that's all you need to know. Right. That's all you need to know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're in 4th place, so of course you're. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but like you need to worry about 4th place. Like Atlanta have a game in hand. We're not 4. Like we're 4, but we are not 4. And they have the tie.
We're basically tied. We're practically tied.
And they have the tie.
If they win Monday, and then I completely agree.
If they win their game, if they win the 2 games, they're tied with us, but they have the tiebreaker. So we're like we are in top 4, but like let's say when in 2 weeks times we can be 5th again and then 1.
Yeah.
So you will be still maybe 7 points from 1st, but you're 5th. Are you gonna talk about the title? You're 5th.
Right. Yeah. And I'm not saying to talk about the title, but yeah, I do. It's just, to me, it's just like I can't believe they keep every time it looks like Juventus are finally gonna just like fade out into solidly 4th place and not even be whatever they're given, we're back every time. I think it's gonna be back to like a 10-point thing, and then I can just not even look at it. It's just frustrating.
Wait,
because I'm like, just come on.
Before we go,
further,
Ricky OC, I think OC, sent a super chat text for that. He said,
"Thank you.
Dybala needs to goes missing in big games. Do you remember Lyon game? Mamma mia! Like the Lyon game, he came in and he went off injured because we rushed him back. Like he wasn't fit." And Sarri said, "Go," and that was a bad mistake. I think after that it went all to not to shit, but like it got worse moving forward with injuries. I keep saying in that Lyon game, like then that's the moment the injuries really started, like big time. But does he go missing in big games? Like you know what it is? He misses a lot of big games. Not missing, he misses a lot of big games, especially Champions League games. Is it bad luck? Is it I don't know. Yeah, is it bad luck? Because it's like every time there's a big Champions League game, he's out with an injury. Like, is it bad timing? It's like Neymar when his sister celebrating his birthday. He's gone.
Yeah,
he's gone. And he's injured. Unbelievable. Like maybe it's bad luck, but like again, I've said it before. I like Dybala, but his numbers in the Champions League are not what it should be for a player of his caliber. I will admit that. Like I will not debate someone saying It's
They
good.
expect more. They're just
Yeah, it's like his numbers in the Champions League are not what it should be for a player of his caliber. It shouldn't. But I would still keep him. Like, it's difficult, but not for 10 million. Not because his injury. Like if he was injury free, I would say yeah, no problem.
yeah.
Like, but he's not, and that's a big problem.
I mean, and then we've hashed it out so many times, but the situation about Dybala, and I know there's people that have thrown out the sign him and sell him. That's never going to
Yeah.
happen and stuff like that. But it's just such a it's a really we need. I mean, he just needs to get back into Dybala form if that's ever possible, or something close to that soon, because it's a difficult situation. It's a sticky situation for Juventus because you need to have somebody of his talent level performing at least close to his talent level. And then, but if you lose him, I mean, you lose him for free, and then it's another potential 60 million euro hole or loss that you're losing for nothing. You're not getting anything from that. I want to touch on and they said about me saying piss poor. Come on, man, it's harsh. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I yes, I say a lot of things harsh.
What do you say?
But
who was
because
piss poor?
I called this Juve team piss poor. Like this year's
We're not
Juve
good.
team.
We're not good. Like,
Yeah,
let's be honest. We're not good.
and I can be harsh in my terminology, and I know a lot of people don't like that, but I think this. I mean, if you have Juve standards and and you're a long-term Juventus fan, this should not be good enough. This should not be something that you can you can't clap and appreciate what they're doing, because I don't appreciate it. It's not good enough. It's not Juventus. Like if you're I don't know, if you're Atalanta, this would be good enough. Like historically, this should be good enough for you.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And I saw a comment, but I lost it. Oh yeah, I had 2 comments. JJ is saying Atalanta have 5 matches without a win in Serie A, so they could mess up games they have in hand. Everybody can mess up games, so can we. So that's a problem. But at some point they're gonna pick it up again. Same for Inter Milan, they're gonna pick it up again. It's just we need to worry about ourselves first, and then you need to hope Atalanta keeps messing it up. But they're not gonna keep losing or drawing games until the end of the season. They're gonna go on a winning streak again, and then. I saw another comment, but I lost it. Mario saying it's not pretty, but we have not lost since November, and that's true. But that's the how you want to say that? We had no option. We were so far behind, and we drew too many games in between. And people will look it up and will say, "Oh, it's only 4 or 5." It's still too much, too many because we were behind. And then you look at the teams we drew. That Milan game away, I will keep saying it until I'm too old to come on the channel. I need to pass it on or something. That Milan game was shocking. I've never seen Allegri go into he's defensive, but I've never seen Allegri go into a game and say, "I don't want to win it." That's what he said. That was that will haunt me forever. That game, because Milan weren't that
shocking.
great. We didn't even try. We did not even try. And that's my issue I have. I think at some point he's not gonna do it, but I think in certain moments of games or just in general in games, he needs to be more brave. He needs to go for it. The Villarreal game, Villarreal weren't great. Again, we're not a great team, but you need to go for it.
I mean, some of the most devastating matches that Juve had are in that month of January. You look at the Napoli match. There was no excuse for Juve to lose that match. That Napoli they were limping in. They had nothing to work with, and then they draw, or they didn't lose, but they draw. Which to me, I know, guys. To me, it draws a loss. Yeah, you see that, and then obviously Juve was lucky to come back with that performance against Roma. Otherwise, that would have been a loss because they were blowing Juve out. It was 3, whatever.
That was a freak of a game. That happens once every I don't know how many years. We've done that, so I credit them for that. But yeah, I know what you're saying, and it's true.
It's Juve could have done so much that month.
Yeah,
they could have done so much to better their situation. Milan, Napoli, and then Inter, if they would have just won that trophy, but who cares? It doesn't matter. But those are the main ones. If those 2 matches and then the Atalanta ones, you could have. I mean, we'd be sitting in a totally different spot right now. If they do something in half of those.
I agree.
Anyway, then we look at the schedule. We're going into March, where, I mean, You look at, I mean, this March, if we were being honest, besides obviously the Coppa Italia leg, the first leg where we could end up punting on it, like you said. I mean, if Juve, I'd argue they should win. They should win all those.
Yeah, but
I mean, yeah, I
no, no,
know.
no. I'm
I
not
know.
gonna allow
No,
you
no,
to do that.
no, 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 no. I'm getting to my point. My point that I'm saying is they obviously will not.
Okay.
This team, there's no chance that they don't slip up. But my point is, on paper, you should win every single, even the Champions League one. You should win at home. But
Yeah,
like otherwise, Spezia, Sampdoria, and Salernitana, and then the Coppa Italia against Fiorentina, you should win those. There's no reason that a Juve team shouldn't win those. But injuries, Allegri's tactics that are outdated and slow, and I don't know what he's doing. I mean, am I fair to say, are there tactics? Is there a tactic
yeah.
besides?
The tactic is there are tactics, but they're not fun to watch or to look at. They're not, how you want to say it, progressive. They're not progressive.
Yeah.
Or they're not what a club who's fighting for bigger things should be. Like, if that was a tactic for Genoa, I'd be like, yeah, fair play. Like, you're fighting to survive. I get that. You don't have a lot of quality. So yeah, there are, but like they're not fun. They're not fun. And the game's coming up. I said it, like, I don't believe we're gonna win in Sampdoria. I said that at the start of January. Like, I don't believe we're gonna win there because they, especially at home, and they're not a good side, but with the new coach and the players they have, they will cause a lot of troubles, like they did in the first game with their press. We cannot play against those teams. So I don't think, but I saw someone tweeting out all the games and the standings and saying, like, it should be not easy, but like it should be enough. Like, and I'm like, you cannot do that. Like, look at Empoli, they were 10th and we got lucky. So you cannot do that. You never know with this team, and at some point they're gonna lose a game. And what's gonna be their reaction then? Because it's a run of positive results. I think 13. At one point that bubble is gonna burst, and then it's what? Then it's like, okay, how are you gonna react? Because losing now and Atalanta winning, it's big. Like, you will look up and like, it's 4 points. It's 3, but yeah, you need to make up 4 points because they have a tiebreak, and then it's like, with, let's say, 6 games to play, you're like, how on earth are we gonna do that? Like, you cannot drop any more points. Like, it's really close. It's really close. But let's see.
I'd argue it's more than that though, because Atalanta have 25 games, Juve 27. If I guess if you say all things are equal, say Atalanta win this week, but then next week, it's 4 points. It's like you're then. Yeah.
You need to make overall, 4 points.
But yeah.
With
at least
11 games to play. No, if you drop 1 more point.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. Let's see, I'm trying to see. So at least you got Salernitana at the bottom there. Spezia is close to the bottom. Even Sampdoria. But yeah, I mean, like I said, none of these. It doesn't matter. You may still struggle with plenty of those.
And Hanina, where do you? How many games does it this make that we lost possession to a smaller team? Verona, Sassuolo, Torino, Empoli. You're telling me that these teams have better players? No, but Allegri allows them for those teams to have the ball. That's it. That's the reason. Because I remember Sarri. You remember when we had possession and Pjanic had like plus 100 touches, which was a very useless stat. People were hyping that up, but I was like, yeah, he's just passing it to right and left. Like, how is that gonna help us? But we have possession. Like, it's the way the coach will play, and he's okay with teams having possession.
Yeah.
Again, if you had a better team, you will kill off games easily, but we struggle, so it looks very, very tidy. It looks very close. Like, every game is close. Every game, like, we were 3-1 up. I was like, we're cruising this, and then it's 2-3 again. I'm like, you're actually gonna do that to me? I just got back from work, and you're gonna do that to me again?
Right. It is frustrating though. Like Hanin was saying though, to see. It's almost like Juve gets bullied by these smaller teams. It just doesn't make sense how, like you said, you have guys like Vlahovic. I mean, Vlahovic is the only one out there offensively trying to move the ball downfield by himself half the time. You have in the midfield, continues on with the midfield that continues to get bullied by these other teams. I don't know. And obviously, obviously right now the biggest conversation is the injuries, and it's just will they heal up? How long are we gonna look at this midway through March, and we've got two more guys out, and the only guy that's playing is Rabiot, and and I don't know. Like I said, maybe at that point, yeah, he'll play Manetti or whoever else he'll have out there. Um, I don't know. I guess if you had to go with one right now, who would be your first one? First one that you'd like to see get run to play of
Considering
those
we
guys.
only have 3 midfielders, it will be Miretti because we only have 3. So
Yeah.
nobody can be missed again. Like nobody. So it will be him. It will be him.
Yeah. No, I agree. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I see other people commenting saying, yeah, Juve would be at least 54 points, but they're not. That's the frustrating part is that they're not. Uh, and then otherwise, there's so many missed opportunities. Once again, I'm not saying Milan or Inter are throwing Juve a lifeline, but they're keeping Juve worthlessly in the conversation still. Is the only way that I can really describe it right now. Let's see.
It's 7 points. It's 7 points with 11 games to play. Like, if you just do quick math, like Milan and Inter have to collapse completely, and Napoli, like they just need to have a run of 5-6 games again on top of that on this of not winning. And I'm saying 5-6 because within those 5-6 we will probably not win 3 of them. So that's why I say 5-6. But like Inter haven't won in 4 games now in Serie A. They're gonna pick it up. Same for Milan. They're gonna pick it up. So we just need to worry about Atalanta and ourselves.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Also, like the video, guys. Just quickly.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've been meaning to say it. Hit the like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. I should have said that from the beginning. Guys, yeah, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, so that way you can be a part of our community. Also, I don't think you can chat unless you're subscribed to the channel anyway. Sam said imagine 11 Rabios, and I would like Sam banned. So I'm banning Sam now from the chat. I'm not really doing that, but don't ever say that. I guess my question is, given what we have to work with right now, I mean, and maybe this is a useless argument. Maybe this is idiotic for me to bring up. What's the ideal formation then? What's the ideal, what should we go with?
I need to think about that.
I've been thinking that through my head. I was like, what's the right way to do it? Because obviously, you don't want to play
3, but we only have 3 midfielders, so you're gonna play them all. So
right.
I think he's gonna play 4-4-2 moving forward, and I think he's gonna rest one midfielder, and he's just hoping Bernardeschi gets back quickly. That's what he's hoping now, I think.
Yeah.
And he's gonna fit him in everywhere, like try to fit him in everywhere, like just make up the numbers. That's how he's gonna use Bernardeschi.
I think. You bring up a good point. I think the one thing that really excites me here about the opportunity of using this 4-4-2 and Bernardeschi's getting in is he's really going to get a chance to really cement himself in the plan for Juventus moving forward. And also he can maybe get 4.5, maybe 5 million per year from Juventus in this renewal deal. They're going to end up getting him, and he's going to end up being. Am I muted yet? Am I just talking nothing?
No,
Nobody can hear me. I wouldn't be surprised if you did, but yeah, it'll be good to see. Maybe Juventus will have to shell out maybe another, maybe 5 mil a season, which would be great. Be great to just retain, because the greatest thing about Bernardeschi is he can be used all over the place. He can be used as goalkeeper if you want. You can play him everywhere. He's just a jack of all trades, and that's what Juventus needs right now. I got nothing. I got nothing when it comes to, utilizing anybody else. But sorry, I apologize if I read this wrong. Babatunde says, what happened to Zakaria? It's basically, is it a muscle issue?
But I think it's a muscle, but like first reports, it looks worse than a muscle. So maybe he torn a muscle, like something like that, and that's worse than just muscle. How you call it, strain, something like that. Yeah, if you torn it, like I torn it once, it hurts. Like you don't feel anything, but when you start running, it's like, what the hell? Like you just can't run, and it takes Like for me, it took 4 weeks almost, without proper how you want to say it? How do you say it? Care, without proper care. Like they will get cared about. Like they will go to the training every day, and they will take care of that. But
Yeah, you just put an ice pack on that thing and
yeah,
wait.
I went to the how do you call it, like the physio, but
Hmm.
once every week, like they go every day. So, but
Hmm.
it's first reports is worse than just a muscle, like than the usual 10 days, like the standard. I think
Hmm.
the club has a mock up, and you just change the names of the player before they send it out. Like it's 10 days muscle strain. You just need to change the number, the player's name, and that's it. At this
Yeah, they just
point,
have the draft ready.
yeah,
This the blank lines. They can just fill it in,
yeah,
fill it with one injury. Yeah, they'll get a doctor's note. Um, sorry, I'm reading these. Khalid said we should have kept Kulusevski. Man, he would be so useful right now with his chance creation. I mean,
yeah.
but
But
my
that's in
problem is
hindsight.
Kulusevski wasn't. Yeah, yeah. It's hindsight, but it's also like how much faith do I have that Kulusevski would be doing better than he is right now
You,
at Tottenham? You know what I mean? I don't think he'd be
yeah,
doing the same thing that he's doing
like
at Tottenham.
me and Julian have been consistent. Like I like Kulusevski. Julian also like Kulusevski. I believe in his talent. I do. I actually believe in his talent because I've seen it. He can do it.
Hmm.
But he was not doing it for us. And people say it's Allegri. Yeah, but he's the coach. So are you want to keep him? Do you want to keep him? And he gets benched, and he play when he plays, it's what it is. Or do you
Hmm.
want Vlahovic? Like it's one of the two. I rather keep Kulusevski. Yeah, I would have kept him, man, because I like him and I believe in his
Yeah.
talent. And like players like Bernardeschi, they need to move out of the club. But we needed the
Hmm.
money. The money came in. It was not working for him at the club. I'm happy for him because I think he's better than what he has shown for us. So
Hmm.
I'm actually happy for him. But we got Vlahovic. Like we cannot. Yeah, in an ideal world, we would have both. Like he's
Yeah.
21. We shouldn't have like 21. It's the second season, and we're like, yeah, you're not it. Like that's how you want to call it? That's a stain on the club's
Hmm.
reputation. It is
Yeah.
like he's 21, second season, not even season and a half, and you're like you shipping him out. Like that doesn't look good on the club. It doesn't.
Yeah, it's a bad look, especially when you're trying to buy some of these like young, talented players that are not, obviously Vlahovic level or whatever, where they know they're confident in their abilities. If you're trying to sell them, hey, yeah, you can money whip anybody, but at the same time, if you're going to try to sell, hey guys, Allegri's the guy, the coach to come in, continue your development, but then also to challenge and win these things. It's not a good look when you have guys like Kulusevski immediately go into Tottenham and produce for Conte. And that's one of the things. Give him credit, as much as he's a snake and he sheds his skin and he slithers away every time he leaves. Conte he gets good
Yeah,
things
yeah,
out of
yeah.
his
He does.
players.
He does.
Yeah. Let's see. Kulu money's gonna help pay for Vlahovic. I mean, I think Vlahovic was a lot. Wasn't it more Ronaldo based? Is that where the money's really coming
Yeah,
from? Or that
we saved some money, but like we needed Kulusevski money
yeah.
too. But like I don't know, it's what's gonna happen. Like with every player leaving, he scores. You're like, our social media is like, I don't really pay it. I have my opinion on Kulusevski. I also understand the situation, so I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, but it's not a good look on the club. It isn't for
Yeah. I mean,
agents of talented players. They will look at it and will be like, you know, 1 year and a half, and you said no. That's a bit weird. What happened? Like that's how it is. I'm not saying no players coming in again, but like if it happens often, it will. It will be. Again, it doesn't really
mhm.
happen often, to be honest. Um, but yeah, also saying you won't be buying any young talents that are near Vlahovic level or similar in different position. Believe me, it will only be physical midfielders for Allegri. Um, I'm
I would
thinking
have
at
argued.
I'm thinking about the
Uh,
names you're getting linked with, and like it's players like
so,
Milinkovic, Savic, and Pogba. They are physical, but they're also very technical. They're very good on the ball.
hmm.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't really agree with it, but I understand where he's coming from. I do because if you give, let's say, if you tell the club, if you tell Allegri you can get Nkunku, he will be like,
Hmm.
yeah, but put that on hold. Let me see. Whether
Yeah.
then a different coach who wants to play progressive football will be, yeah, bring him in. Hope he's here tomorrow in training. And Anthony is saying, so excuse me, he's saying Gravenberg. I think he's going
Hmm.
Bayern. Like I like him, and a lot like it's a split. Like when we talk about Gravenberg, it's a split always
Mhm.
because he's not having his best season. It's still okay, but last season he was that good. Even the season before, but he's 19. Like it's okay. It's okay. I like him.
Mhm.
But if you we said it before, if Allegri can choose, he will choose Savic or Pogba. That's who we will choose.
I hate to do this to the stream, but let's do it. The midfield. Let's talk about it a little bit. Looking forward to the future from me. While we're here, might as well. When we're looking at the midfield, and we talked about, remember all the little rumors about players that could come in or whatever, players that we could call up, or maybe not call up, but work out deals to get them come back here sooner. I mean, would have tried to get. I mean, obviously they would. Genoa wasn't going to have it happen.
No.
Do you see Ravella still coming in the summer, or do you think he's probably not? I don't know.
I don't believe he's gonna stay, but reports are saying he's gonna stay. So
Mm-hmm.
again, how many times have they say Fajoli is gonna stay or he's gonna stay and they didn't? So, but reports are saying that he's gonna stay. And also, really quick, thanks Rick again for a super chat. I will read that out before we move on. He said, "Question: Would an exit to Villarreal be a bad result, knowing that we have so many injuries, or a huge disappointment overall?" I would say it will be a disgrace. Even with the injuries, it will be a disgrace. Like that, I will be consistent with it. And I also said that's a reason you should be like that's a reason the club could be like, nah, you can't stay for next season because not beating Villarreal over two legs, that's
Are you talking about
unacceptable.
Allegri?
Yeah, that's unacceptable. And I get Rakes. That is actually a good question because I know people will say,
Yeah.
"Oh, we had so many injuries." I get that, huh? And you will say, "Would it be a bad result or a huge disappointment?" It would be a disappointment, of course, and a bad result also. But I
I
don't
mean, the
like.
problem.
I don't care if there's so many injuries. Like, there's no excuse over two legs. There's actually because I've seen Villarreal play with our team being injury. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
McKennie was there and we had Sicario still on the bench. But I've seen Villarreal play. Like, you're not telling me it's quote unquote okay to don't make it to the next round because we have injuries against that Villarreal team. With all due respect, I respect them, but like I've seen them play, and I've seen also ourselves play. I get that, but I've seen them play at home. You just need to win at home
I
against
mean,
Villarreal to make it out. Like it's not something crazy. It's not like you need to make up a 3-0 win, a 3-0 defeat away to Real Madrid like a few years back. It's not that.
well, also, I mean, you just can't like fair or unfair to Allegri given the situation to coming in here. I mean, you just can't. I mean, you can't sell to the fans 3 years in a row,
Yeah,
making it to the round of 16 and
yeah,
getting knocked out by a lesser team. Like Juventus is not going up against Liverpool. Juventus is not going up against these,
yeah.
these top tier teams. They're 3 years in a row teams that you should beat, that you should bring home, get to the next round, and they don't do it. Regardless of not having Ronaldo this year, you have Vlahovic now, and it's time to get it done. If not, yeah, I don't know. I'm still pretty strong in the corner that I wouldn't see. I don't think Allegri will go after one season, but
No, I get. No, no.
I mean, I don't know.
I get that. No, I don't think he's going, but I'm like, that's a serious reason to be sacked when
You're
you're a
getting
club as Juve. You're in
well, I
danger
mean, you're
zone.
getting yeah, that's what I say. You're getting dangerously close to it because you had Sadi and you had Pirlo, who both won trophies. That you're supposed to be a coach that's viewed higher,
Yeah,
more highly than both of those. And losing Ronaldo, fine, but at the same time, it's hard for me to really still, even watching how Juventus plays and all that, looking at the talent level, looking at what Inter and Milan, all these teams are doing. It's so difficult for me to understand how hard Juve is struggling right
yeah,
now in these games and the way they're looking. I mean, there's a lot you put on the coach, so fair or unfair. I'm interested to see how this plays out. I'm not lobbying for it by at all, but if it were to happen, I'm less surprised now than I would be 2 months ago, at least.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
What else we got?
No, no, that's okay. So thanks for super chat. That was actually a good question because that will be a debate when or should it happen that we not make it out of round.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. And Hanina saying why is Rivera being benched lately? It's a new coach, and I don't like the coach because he comes from the Belgium league and his team was awful to watch. Like, and again, I think they drew 5 straight games or 4 straight games at Genoa. I think when they
Yeah,
need
they haven't
some wins.
lost,
They need some wins
right?
because they're in danger zones. Like, yeah, you get points, but you need some wins now. Um, and he was also injured, so he's on, like he's recovering basically. But you brought it up. Like the reports are saying he's coming back and staying. Let's see before I believe that. Let's see.
Yeah. No, I agree. Let's see. Let's see. Bone says we need experience in midfield. We should get Jorginho. He will help Luka and Zaka push forward. I don't even like. Is that even an option? Is that even like?
He has
I
1
mean,
year
or
left.
Chelsea even willing?
23. I don't believe. Like normally, he's 31, right? He's in the 30s.
I think so. Yeah.
Like normally, Chelsea's policy is like you get 1+1 now. If you're lucky, you get 2. That's their policy. We're not paying 40 mil for Jorginho because that's what they're gonna ask. At least, even more, even with 1 year on his left. So forget about it. And I get why people are saying that because he can play that Richisa role. He can do that, but no.
I think your chance, and if you would have got, I mean, if you ever would have seen Jorginho at Juventus, it would have been if Saudi would have stayed another year, and I think that's who they would have gotten. And I mean, fortunate or unfortunate, we'll see. I don't know. After that, Jorginho's stock definitely went up, but again, age and whatever, it just doesn't seem feasible. Also, another thing, I'm not trying not to make this a full conversation. We'll talk about it another time, but. And of course, me being this shill when it comes to stuff like that, there's a lot less of like really compared to like last year. Obviously, Locatelli was the guy, but of like even like really serious Italian talent that they're looking at. Like, I mean, Zaniolo's the only one, and Zaniolo's in his situation. I mean, Scamacca, but Scamacca's we're not doing that now.
No, I agree.
Obviously, you got a better option,
and that's fine.
I don't know.
If there's nothing else there, just stay away from it. Like.
No, yeah. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Juventus need to be doing that. Like, I think what I'm talking about more is I'm just kind of surprised. It seemed like there was a dip, and then there was a big like growth, and maybe it was just winning the Euros and all that, so people were more interested in those Italian players, and then they were back down a little bit. Okay. Let's see.
I think.
Sorry.
I think if the money is gonna be spent, it's gonna be on a midfielder, and all the other positions are gonna be cheaper options. And then if you look at the midfield, there's no Italian out there who's coming in and doing a job. It's all foreign players, which is fine. Like, I know people like I would like a backbone, like a core of Italian players, but they need to be good enough. Like, they don't just need to be Italian. Like, they actually need to be good. So
right.
So if there's nothing else there, don't waste money. Like Fratesi, but you don't need to spend 25 on Fratesi. That's money wasted, Not wasted, but really, just try to bring up your own players then if you need to spend that money, because he's good, Fratesi, but he's not. So far I'm not looking at Fratesi. I'm like, oh my god, what is this? He's good, but really, So
are you just saying like in that instance just more gamble on a Fagioli or a Moretti?
Yeah, gamble, bring in a good, but groom them, give them minutes, fit them in the team. When are you gonna do that? At some point, you need to do it, and I think it needs to come from the club. They need to force Allegri to do that, saying we give you a midfielder, we will give you a top midfielder, but you need to use a winger from the youth, or a midfielder from the youth, or a center back from the youth. You need to use those players now.
Yeah.
That's basically, if you do that, we can spend the money. We can save money here and there, and we can give you. I'm just saying something. It's not gonna happen, but we can give you Milinkovic. But you need to use Sule to replace Bernardeschi, or even Dybala. I don't know. Or we're not giving. I'm just saying things. We're not giving De Chilio a new contract, and you're gonna need to use the winter in that position for rotation at times. Or Chiellini's out. The winter is your fourth center back. I'm just saying things it needs to happen at some point, I believe.
And maybe that's what they do. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe that's a move that they make where you look at say the Dybala aspect absolutely collapses. He goes to I joke here. He goes to Inter. He goes, I mean, I'm kidding. But he goes to Barcelona. He goes somewhere else. It doesn't work. Juve doesn't pay him. Juve don't really have the option to really invest a ton of money in another player in that instance. Maybe that's where you, like I said, maybe you stick with Sule and you kind of, people kind of try to talk about him in that way of like a Dybala heir kind of thing. Maybe you do that. Maybe that's one thing also about getting credit to Pirlo. Pirlo made efforts to put in Fajoli, made efforts to put in some of these young guys. He
played Porta Nova away to Crotone, which was one of the worst performances I've seen any player play in a Juve jersey in a very long time, and I've seen Frabotta play for us. So that's all you need to know. But he did that. You're right. He tried to do that. Towards the end of the season, he also stepped away from it. It was especially at the start of the season, he was doing some weird things. But yeah, and he was using the wrong place, like Porta Nova. Like, I don't know. Like, he's not a talent. Like, he's just a youth player. But yeah. The club needs to do that. I agree.
Absolutely. Let's see. I don't know how much longer you want to go for. We can go for a little bit, but I just want to touch on, since we have the chat open and a few people commenting on it. Yeah, I mean, I see Gaetano saying about 2006 for it was a beautiful year, World Cup. Yeah, you had all that talent on that team. I mean, that's what a lot of, like, how I got into it. But unfortunately, even though they won the Euro, the talent isn't there right now. It's not the same as that was. Let's see. We don't need Jorginho. Anthony was saying Raspadori, Vertesi, Destiny, Udogi.
Yeah, Udogi. He's Italian, by the way.
Is he really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He has Italian. Yeah, he has an Italian passport. I think he plays for the Italy U team.
Let me pull that up.
I know he hasn't. Did he play for the Italian U team? I think he did. I think he did.
I'm about to find out. No, I mean, I'm not like I'm guessing you. I just didn't know that. Let's see.
Yeah, he has Italian. He is Italian. Or am I completely? No.
No, I think you're right.
He's Italian.
Let's see. Yeah, you're right. He played for the Italy from U16 to U21 from 2018 to now. So yeah, I had no clue.
Yeah, he's Italian. So I like him as a profile. He like Julian said, like, he pops on your screen, like, even when, like, you're in a game and you're like, who's that? Like, he does things that you like, who's that? So I like that as an option. I do. I would be okay with bringing him in. But let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, I think, for the kind words, Anton Rusin. Anyway, let's see what else. Look at some under Allegri. Maybe when they're 23, they'll get some time. Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, it's now or never. It's now or never. Not never, but you know what I mean. It's now. Now's the time to really get these guys some run. I just hope they're utilized in a good format where actually they can, they're not just getting thrown to the wolves. Yeah. That's the one thing I worry about. But I mean, I wouldn't consider a lot of these players or a lot of these teams are going up against as the wolves, but there's still anything can happen with this Juve. Let's see. All right. Pete says, do you think Allegri has the wrong mentality to bring us up? I believe he has a loser mentality this time back. Was it Ibra? What? About Arsenal? I don't know.
I think he has a winning mentality. He's stubborn in his ways. That's it.
You don't. Yeah, you don't. I mean, you're not. No coach is trying to lose. No. Like, as much as, like, maybe you go into a match and maybe he didn't have confidence in Juve against Milan, so he just played to draw. But at the same time, he's not a coach. You don't just lose the ability to coach. It's you get stuck on what you want to do and you don't adjust to the times. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I agree. One of the things I said was, as much as I like Allegri, I mean, obviously he's had success at Juve before, but maybe there's a reason he was unemployed for two years, and obviously he turned down opportunities. But I don't know. Maybe that's not always the best way to go.
No, I agree. I will read out two more before we wrap it up. So first, Giuseppe is asking, what's your opinion about dropping Berna and Rabiot this summer and bringing a type of midfielder like Tonali, Isco, a creative ball carrier? I will be all for it. I will be all for it and just dropping those two two and bringing in no one, to be clear. But that type of player, I would. Like, not the name, not Isco, but the type of player, yes. And I will go for Nkunku. He's more than just a ball carrier, but like I don't think Allegri is looking for that. So that's that.
Yeah.
And I wanna close with with this question. Hasa saying
Okay.
top 3 Juventus transfers for the summer. So I'm not gonna name names, but it should be a midfielder, a left back, and a center back. That should be our priority. And I'm aware, like, if Dybala stays and all those things, like I'm not thinking about that. Like, and if Morata, like, you need to look up front, of course, but like the priority should be midfielder, left back, center back for me. That's all.
I want you to say names. I want you to give me an idea. I know it's not easy, but I want to hear what your thoughts.
Left back, I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea. I have actually no idea. So I don't know. I need to see how things will evolve. Midfielder, I would take Savic. If you give me Pogba, I would also take him. I would also take Nkunku. But I'm thinking for Allegri, I would take more Savic than Nkunku because he's not gonna play Nkunku the way he should be playing. So that's why I'm saying Savic. And center back, it depends on who's gonna leave. But I will take Saliba from Marseille, but he's from Arsenal. He's just loaned out, but I will take Saliba.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to say names. Like, I need to know who's gonna leave first and which player is gonna leave.
True.
But let's see.
No, I agree. I honestly hadn't heard your thoughts on that, so I just wanted to hear it. But no, I appreciate that. Anyway, I think any other thoughts? I think you want to. I know we've been over here for over an hour or so right now, going for a little bit, and then I'm gonna have to get you guys out these player ratings here shortly. Anyway, what do you mean? What happened to Agresti's article?
You said keep it, like, he was talking about Pogba, and then he said keep an eye on Gold.com in the next few weeks, and it's been a month.
Oh
now.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's not a good look.
That article is it's ghosting. Like, a lot of our players doing games.
Has anybody asked him about that? Has he responded to anything?
No. He said it because I watched the live. I was watching the
I
live
remember
when he said it, and I was like, okay, and yeah, I don't know. He said after the transfer, but like the way he said it in terms of like the week after.
He said in the coming days.
Yeah, like not a month. So I don't know. Let's see. I have no idea.
I always get so annoyed because whenever, especially during the Mercado, the journalists or whoever always use the term "in the coming hours," and hours could literally mean a week from now. It never means coming hours. Like, to me, coming hours mean between now and midnight for me. It's 6 o'clock my time. So that's the way I look at it. I don't know. And then finally, I guess we'll just finish on this. It's just Royal Killer was saying, "Do you guys really believe that Allegri is a good coach for Juve?" I did. I think it just depends where it goes. I think it depends if he's willing to adjust, and I need to see. I mean, the only slack I give him, because I haven't seen him do anything, strategically different or set anything up, is his team's devastated right now when it comes to injuries.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know. I was really hoping. It's the exact same thing that I had criticism about Pirlo, is I don't see a plan. I still don't see a plan.
No, I agree. There's nothing.
Mm-hmm. All right, everybody. I think that'll do it for us. I appreciate everybody for tuning in for this live stream. As always, if you're still here, please hit that like button. I don't even know how many likes we're at right now, but if you can, make sure you hit that like button. Get us up to where are we at? Where are we at right now? Where we at? Like
32.
32. Y'all try to get us to 40. Come on. They were like, I know there were about 50 of y'all for a long period of this. You can at least get us to 40. I'd appreciate that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Also hit the bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. One of the things I wanted to mention is I think tentatively we may end up doing the giveaway for the Vlahovic jersey, if all things go as planned, potentially next week sometime, maybe Thursday. Like I said, stay tuned. Make sure you're, if you're not on Twitter, get on Twitter. Like, that's how I get all my news. Make sure you're following the bianconerizone Twitter account, and we'll have that without all the updates and stuff on there. Alejandro will be taking care of that. Follow us on all the other social media, all that good stuff anyway. But